This video is sponsored by Loop Elements Pro. Make all your loops great again and do it with 10% off at the checkout. Enter the coupon code that's down in the description and in the comment section. All right, let's get into this video. We have Pianoverse, and a lot of you guys have sent this to me, suggested this, and said I need to check it out. You've said it's the king. You're saying it's the GOAT. It's made by a company called iKmultimedia. Let's jump over here and look at their website. Pianoverse, the only piano instrument you ever need. That's what they say. And that's what everybody does in their marketing, blah, blah, blah. Now, they say you can get it from $49.99. And what that means is you got to get all the way down to the bottom to figure that out. Is you can buy the concert ground for $49. But then there's all these other packs that are $49, $49, $49, $49, $49, $49, $99. You know, so you could buy all of these. It's 8 different piano sets, and that can get really, really expensive. But they also give you this yearly all access, which is actually what I did. I just paid the all access monthly $14.99 cancel any time deal. Or you can do $149 for the year, which is not bad. And you get access to everything. So that's not a bad situation or what have you, but it's still kind of expensive. It's $449, is which $450. So you actually will spend more on this than you would on Keyscape. So it's more expensive than Keyscape is. So let's see if it is what they say it is, the only piano that you'll ever need. This is just opening it up. So that's the stock. Just open it up. That's how Pianoverse sounds. I ain't done no tweaking. I ain't pulled up no other models. I ain't done anything else. Just pulled it up. That's how it sounds. And then this is Keyscape. Let's pull it up and let's compare it against this. Let me make sure I'm on Keyscape. Yep. So let me pull up a loop. Let's just play it. Let's play it. This is Keyscape. This is Pianoverse. Keyscape, 2, 3, and back to Pianoverse. Keyscape. Back to Pianoverse. So, I don't know. Pianoverse is just lacking for me. Stock right out the gate. And I'll look at some of the other models in a second, but right out the gate, I'm working on a track just like I was just doing. I'm playing and I'm looking for a piano that's gonna drive my song. Pulling up Pianoverse, and then pulling up Keyscape. It's just warmer and more dynamic. And it just gives a little bit more playability to me, lends more towards that. The thinness in that mid-range, and that's what I look for right in here. I look for that meat right there in the middle. Pause. No diddy. I look for that, and it just doesn't have that presence. Again, we're probably talking about two different piano models, two different types of sampling, two different types of things. There's different ways to look at this and quantify this, but right out the box, I'm working on a track. I just pull up Pianoverse, and then I pull up Keyscape. Keyscape is probably going on the track, just based off of that. For me, maybe that's a little superficial. Maybe that's not what somebody look. Now, I don't know. You could be the judge with your own ears. That's just my thought out the gate. But we're not throwing it away completely. Let's keep digging into Pianoverse, because if you bought the full version with all of the models and all of those things like that, then you have access to 8 different pianos, whereas Keyscape only gives you access to, you have the C7, you have the double felt, and you have the wing. I think those are, and then you have like some of the other stuff, the Rhodes and the digital keys. That doesn't really count. Now, one thing I'll say, this was the most difficult download I've ever had with any product. I'll be quite honest. I don't know if I want to blame iKmultimedia for it, but it's just the fact that all of the piano libraries are so large. Like, you're talking about 50, 40, I think one of them was like 40 gigabytes for one piano. And then you got like, the rest of them were like 20 plus gigs per piano. And then so I was literally trying to download 8 pianos, and I was trying to get them all downloaded. I had to leave it overnight because it took that long for it all to download, and then it kept stopping. Very frustrating. I'll talk about that in another video. But it wasn't the most easy install, right? That's the other thing with Pianoverse, is the loading. It takes a long time to load an instrument, whereas Keyscape it's especially if you're on a newer system, M1, it's quick. So like me going to this Black Diamond, just pulling this up, it's loading, and I'm waiting. And that's Keyscape that's playing. That's not even Pianoverse. That's Keyscape that's playing. But Keyscape, I could literally jump over here if we just want to jump from that to the double felt. It's ready to play. It's ready to play right now. Even while it's finishing loading the samples in the background, it's ready to play. I go to Pianoverse. I'm trying to audition a sound. I'm trying to go to the New York Grand, see what that's talking about. I'm still on the New York Grand because that was the previous one. Still waiting on this one to load up. And now we're there. And it does that for every preset. So even if I change the preset, the loading, that's annoying to me. That's frustrating. It's a second more. Some people will split hairs over seconds, or split hairs over, oh man, it only took like 5 seconds to load up. That, when you're in the groove, bro, when you're in the vibe, you're working and you're pulling up something and you're creating and you're trying to like get in the groove. And then you're like, I don't like that. Let me pull this up. Oh, okay. Now I don't like that. Go lo-fi. Okay. You're like, okay, right? But Keyscape, again, if I pull Keyscape in here, today I want to introduce to you Loop Elements. Pro. This represents a very innovative new way of using loops. And guess what? It's standalone not only as a plugin, but it's also standalone outside of the DAW, which means you can now use loop elements in your live performance. This isn't just a plugin. It's the ultimate tool for creatives and producers. Whether you're layering loops, creating click track, creating beats, building arrangements, soundscapes, Loop Elements Pro gives you the power to create without limits. Loop Elements Pro is now available. Go get it now. And we're doing that same situation. I'm like, I actually want a real piano. You know what I'm saying? Like those seconds matter, you know what I mean? So I don't like that part of it, you know, and this is the New York Grand. And let's compare this. Let's see if I can just get a dry this to see if this is better than Keyscape. So if I go back to Pianoverse. It's just still, the stereo imaging is really good. I like, that room is really good. It's a nice piano. But if I'm going back to this guy, it's just a little bit more warmer in the middle. And again, this is subjective. These are my thoughts, because it's all about what you're going for as a producer in that moment. You know, Pianoverse might cut better because it's thinner in the middle, you know. You know, it might. But it's just thinner overall. Like, highs are cool. Lows are, with that. When I'm talking about something that costs more, that's going to cost me more than Keyscape is going to cost. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to weigh it against. Like, Pianoverse is cool, but what am I spending? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having to wait. I had a whole lot of trouble trying to download it. The libraries are huge. We're talking like Keyscape is like maybe 80 gigs and that's stout. I think Pianoverse is 281 gigs. The whole sample folder is 281 gigs. Whereas, where's my Steam folder with Keyscape? Keyscape is only 80 gigs. So we're talking like almost 3 times the space, more expensive. You know, we got 8 pianos. The loading time is long. You know what I'm saying? So I have to consider those things when doing it. But I like what I like about Pianoverse is I do like the, you know, graphical interface. They seem to have been pretty, you know, intent about that. The loading is just horrendous to me. That's the thing that I hate, you know, when I'm trying to really find what I'm looking for. And like the velocity layers on this isn't really, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I would choose the Logic piano over this. Like if I'm trying to, like, I'm not grabbing Pianoverse. I'm just not. I love the graphic interface. You got your tuning, you got your model here, you got a lot of tweakability, right? You got a whole lot of this. You got space where you can choose different rooms. This is really, really dope. That's great UX design. Put it in your garage, bro, with the tires there. That's crazy. That's kind of wild. Like to have that. That's kind of wild. I kind of like that, right? So you got space, you got your mix, mic placement. All of this stuff looks really, really clean, really, really cool. Then you got other effects, all of this stuff. All of this looks really, really cool and really, really dope and really, really complex. And I think they shoved as much as they could into this to make it worth the value of what they were charging. And as a developer and as someone that, you know, builds plugins and stuff myself, like I understand that you're trying to give value for the money. So that makes like complete sense that you would do that or what have you. Got all these different effects. This is a very stout and well thought out plugin in that space. But the downfall is the velocity isn't as I would like it as a piano player. It's not something that I'm particularly rocking with. The loading times is just it's that's a lot. That's a lot for me. That's the biggest turnoff, I'd say. And then the size of the library, like 280 gigs, that's half of the space. That's more than half of the space on my MacBook. Like I got the 512 MacBook, so you can't say like 80 gigs of Keyscape. You could get away with putting that on your MacBook or putting that on your, if you got a 512 hard drive, you can get away with leaving that on the internal and just manage your space. You can get away with 80 gigs. 280, you can't really hide. You got to put that on an external. So that leaves you tied to that if you're trying to gig with it, if you're trying to do those sorts of things. I'm not sure that I can really get behind this as like piano of the year. Like I don't think this is I think this is I think the aspect of it is dope. I think the UI is dope. The tweakability is dope. The space is super dope. The mix is super dope. The effects, I think you can create some interesting tones with it. So it boils down to what type of player you are, what type of producer, what type of whatever you are, what kind of guy are you? Are you the guy that likes to tweak, right? Are you that guy? Because Keyscape doesn't really give you much to tweak with. They give you verb, performance, EQ, comp, tweak, settings, info. We out. That's all we got for you. That's all we got for you. At least in Omnisphere, they give you like a whole effects section and stuff like that. They didn't even really do that with Keyscape. They didn't give you, now you can put it in Omnisphere and then use the Omnisphere built-in effects, which is really, really cool. But like Keyscape just loaded as is, you can't really, this is it. You can just work with it and do what you need to do with it. Pianoverse gives you like the ultimate amount of, it's very visually pleasing, great aesthetic, great UI design, all of those things like that. The models, the preset browser, I'm in love with all of this. The thing that I hate is the loading. There we go. You know, I hate that. And you know, all of that. And the tweakability is cool. I could probably make this sound equal to or better than Keyscape with tweaking. But again, it depends on the type of guy you are. Are you that guy that's going to be doing all of this tweaking? I like to tweak when I like to tweak, but if I'm in a creative flow, I don't like to tweak. I just want to pull up something and just start playing, right? I want to pull up something and just start grooving, start creating. I don't want to sit down and be like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, some little less space. Let me drop the tone. Okay, oh, I need some compression. Okay, now yeah, okay, let me see. Let me go over here. And then where's my EQ? I just need some EQ. Oh, I'm gonna go over here. EQ, and then let's see. Graphic EQ. Okay, gain. Gotta do that. Just bring this in here. Meanwhile, I don't forgot. I don't forgot what I was producing. You know, there's a move the mic. Can I move the mic? There's a mic. What kind of mic do I need? This is I'm paying it to. You know, I'm tweaking too much, and I done lost inspiration trying to get the piano to sound the way I wanted to sound in the moment. But these are also, as much as these are negatives, they're also positives. These things, both of these things can be true. That's why I give you the perspective of this is what I like and what I would do, but also it depends on what kind of guy you are or gal you are. What are you wanting to do? Or do you want to sit for 30, 40 minutes and tweak the piano to sound like you want it? Or do you just want to pull it up and just start playing? And if you're that guy, honestly, I'm just going to pick up the and I'm in Logic. I'm just going to pick up the Logic piano and you know what I'm saying? Because that does what I needed for to do. It just sounds good. I don't even have to open up the plugin interface and start messing with it. I just like the way it sounds like that. And then I might come back later and after I start adding more instruments and figure out what I'm doing with that. But other than that, I don't know. I'll let you guys be the ultimate judge. That is my take on Pianoverse. You can do with it what you will. I tried to be as fair as possible, as balanced, tell you the things I like, tell you the things I don't like. And I don't know personally if I would would I recommend this to like one of my homeboys? Probably not. You know, if one of my homeboys called me today and was like, yo, bro, just think about that Pianoverse. I'd be like, oh, it's cool. I probably, you got Logic? Yeah, just use piano and Logic, bro. That's what I would do. All right, that's my take on this. Y'all want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. I hope you found it relevant and helpful to your workflow and you got something out of it. If you did, please drop a like down below. If you didn't, I appreciate you for watching anyway. All right, but I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Holla at your boy.